I'm going to share with you the knife that I just most recently got because she's beautiful. This is an Ottoza Damascus hunting knife, camping knife 326 it's called. You see this sheath? It's a little goofy looking. I mean, let me describe it to you folks who are just listening. It's like a light tan leather sheath, but it's got a whole lot going on. It's got straps and stitching and holes punched into it and buckles and all sorts of things. I mean, it's made to look very, very woodsy. It's made to look very woodsy, like you would think about like a frontiersman or something like that packing a knife. This is what you would imagine. It's very, what's the term I'd use for it? Flowery. I mean, it's just got a lot going on. So I'm going to open her up and show you this. This is a wood-handled knife, single tang knife. That's about all I got for it. I can't tell you about the steel or anything like that. Only that it's a beautiful knife. It's got a really interesting design to it. It's very beautiful. It's got a 5-inch blade and a 5-inch handle. Again, it's single tang, and actually the steel runs out the butt of the handle a little bit, and it's got holes in there. You could run some paracord through or something like that. Again, I apologize to you folks who are just listening. You can't see this, but it's got like all these elegant designs in the actual steel. It arrived nicely oiled up. Also, it arrived super sharp. And I'm actually looking forward to getting this out into the woods and using this. It's because it's such a unique knife. I don't have any other knives like this. It's hardy. It's beautiful. It's fun. It has these beautiful angles cut into it. And so for those of you who are watching, I'm going to hold this up real close to the camera so you can get a real nice look at this. Yeah, I'm sorry for my hand shaking there. I was kind of standing in an odd angle, holding my arm out to the camera, and I'm kind of like hanging over top my microphone. So that odd angle it's hard for me to maintain my balance there. My hand's shaking pretty good. But so there's that knife. That's the Ottoza Damascus hunting knife, camping knife number 326. And again, it's a beautiful, beautiful knife. Now, I'll tell you something that worried me when it come in the mail. And my buddy who dropped by yesterday, I showed him this knife. I said, "What do you think about this?" And he says, "I'm not convinced that that's great steel." And I said, "Well, I ain't either." And I'll tell you what gave it away. The reason why I felt that way and do feel that way. Even though it looks fantastic, the fact that it's supposedly solid steel, solid wood handle, it should weigh more than it does. When I think of quality steel, I think of a knife having heft to it. And this knife is awfully light for what it is. If that were nice, solid, high carbon or really dense steel, I would expect this thing to weigh a lot more than it does. And so just being honest with you, I don't know what this is selling for right now, but you're going to buy something like this mostly for beauty, mostly just for the pleasure of using something that looks so beautiful. But as far as it being a super high quality steel, I'm suspecting that is not the case. Of course, I am not a professional evaluator of steel or anything like that. I don't know a whole lot about the quality of steel. I just know that I have other knives of similar size that feel a lot more robust in my hand. That's what I know. But I tell you, as far as looks go, this knife I'm showing everybody right now, you just can't hardly beat it. I mean, the sheath that it comes with is a super nice sheath. The sheath alone, I would say, would be worth $30. So if you could get that knife for $30, $40, absolutely, it would be worth that. Definitely a fancy, that's a fancy pantsy knife, boys, I'll tell you.